The other thing that I've taken from this weekend is to be bold.
I hate you like I'm young.
Give me a run for my money. There was nobody, no one that run me.
It's been a while. Happy New Year, YouTube. Now, I'm aware that we're always in the middle of February, but this is my first video of the year, and I celebrate New Year's on Luna's New Year anyway, because beginning of January is just too much, too cold. I'm not ready. So Happy New Year to you all. I hope 2025 is going well, and if it's not, there's still time. Don't worry, it's fine. We can switch this round. Jumping straight in, obviously the Super Bowl just happened. Kendrick killed it. Had no doubt, knew he would.
40 acres in the mule, this is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
They get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like.
But what really shocks me is just how inspired I was, like how much I miss like being inspired by artists, by dance, by storytelling. I really used to feel that way about Michael Jackson, like really inspired. And when Beyonce drops stuff, like I usually feel really inspired by her things. There's been a few artists like over the last few years that I have felt that way about as well. Like Bad Bunny just released his album as well, and I'm like, oh, I love the story behind that, super inspiring. But the Super Bowl just ignited something in me, and I wanted to make this video because there might be a few of us who kind of lost our creative spark or lost our direction when it comes to like our creative output. And yeah, I just wanted to share with you kind of all the thoughts that have been going through my mind over the past few days, and have some tips on how to get your creativity back and how to like remain inspired. So on my YouTube shorts, what I usually have is like different people from pop culture just speaking about their journey and the routes that they've taken like to be successful, or how they've manifested their life, different things like that. So check that out on shorts. So I was making some for K.Dot as our new Super Bowl is coming up, and I'm trying to get those views. Okay. And in some of his interviews, what really struck out for me was how important storytelling is, and why he feels like it's so important to tell his story of where he's from, his own personal journeys, stories about his culture, the African American culture. For me, that really stood out because I'm like, all of our stories are important. Whilst we're not celebrities, I think it's important for us to honor ourselves and honor our stories and honor our ancestors and our legacy and tell those stories, because you never know who it might inspire. Do you know what I mean? Tell your story, tell where you're at, tell where you've come from, how you've grown, how you've overcome, because we all need to hear that. And I actually feel like it's more important to hear that from kind of a regular day-to-day person than it is a celebrity. Talking about inspiration, getting out in the world rather than just being online and consuming, for me, has been a great source of inspiration. And I feel like if you are losing your inspiration, and I know I've seen a lot of videos nowadays talking about talking about create more than you consume, and I definitely agree with that. Like, it's definitely more important to create, and that can be in any sense of the form. It can be like cooking, drawing, like it's definitely more important to create than consume. But I think it's important to decide what you are going to consume, whether it's online or whether it's in the physical world. For me, this year, I'm outside. I'm going to the art shows, I'm going to fashion shows, I'm traveling, I'm going to seek and see other cultures, I'm meeting new people. All of that to me like inspires me. So figure out what it is that inspires you. Don't just be consuming on TikTok and YouTube all the time. You might end up in a space where you're copying other people because you're not taking what other people's work as inspiration. Like, you're taking it in, you're digesting it too much, and then you're just creating the same thing, which is boring. And because you have algorithms on these platforms, sometimes we can get into a loop of creating similar content so that it can break through the algorithm and we can go viral. But is that creating? Is that actually coming up with fresh concepts and perspectives if we're just trying to repurpose content so that we can hit an algorithm? Within that as well, connection. I think I speak about this in every single video, but connection is key. Back to the Super Bowl. That was the whole thing, like the halftime show was created by PG Lang, which is like Kendrick Lamar's creative agency, but it's just like a creative hub of different people who have come together and share their ideas and build. And I do think I'll speak about me. What I do think has held me back is not having a community of people who think in a similar way to me. I feel like it is important, particularly if you're in a creative space or you're trying to create something new in your life, to be around people who are of a similar mindset, because you guys can grow together. You grow together, you fail together. The failures aren't as hard when you're doing it like as a group and you've got other people who understand you, who can like cuddle you and make you think it's okay, or also like be like, no, I've been here, it's part of the process. I understand, keep going. It's so much easier than you trying to take on everything yourself, both physically and mentally. So where you can, build community, and again, online communities are great. This is why we've got like platforms, social networking platforms and stuff, but having that community in real life is good as well. On that, I'll plug my sister's company. She's got a creative community, or just community as a whole, called the Quarter Life Hub. I'll like put their Instagram here. So that's a great community if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're just trying to find your way through life and create the life of your dreams. That's her community, so definitely join that. And it's an online one and in-person one as well if you're in the UK. The other thing that I've taken from this weekend is to be bold.
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
Kendrick's just bold, like he's just bold about his shit. He's confident obviously because he's talented. From that I take like, just be bold about who you are, and if you don't know who you are, take the time to find out. There's nothing wrong with sitting down and being like, what do I like? What do I actually enjoy? Write a list of all the things you enjoy and then pinpoint, like kind of prioritize which ones you enjoy the most and which ones you want to go and pursue. And once you know who you are, walk within that truth and be unapologetic about it. And I used to say it's easier said than done to be unapologetic about yourself, but really it's just like, once you understand that most people don't give a fuck, like everyone's trying to be the main character of their own life, it's more easier for you to stand in your truth. And for those who do give a fuck, give too much a fuck about what you're doing in your life, that says more about them. It means they need to focus on themselves than like constantly be worried about what you're doing. Within that as well, with being bold, it's important to trust the process. This is the process of life and the process of creativity. Watching the interviews, as I said, for doing like the shorts, Kendrick was saying it's taken him like 15 years to get to Super Bowl level. Some people it can take them 30 years. Look how long it took Beyonce to win Album of the Year. It takes a long time to get to that level. And some people don't even reach that level, but they get to their own level of success, and that's okay. There's more excitement and more fun in the journey than there actually is in the destination, and take that from me. Sometimes I've been working for something, and once I get to the destination, I'm like, okay, what now? So trust that process, respect the process, and understand that it takes a while to become an expert at something and to learn something, to be really good at something. And you will fail, and there will be times where things aren't seem like they're not going fast enough. Enjoy it. I promise you, like, the journey is more fun than the destination. And finally, the last thing that really spoke to me was don't limit your creativity and don't limit yourself. I kind of feel like life forces you to limit yourself, kind of like all the responsibilities that we have, all the expectations that we put on ourselves and that society puts on us. Sometimes it can hold us down, and it can mean that we don't actually like express ourselves in our full selves. Try everything. Do not be afraid of what people have to say. I know that is easier said than done, but the truth is, like, as I said before, people don't actually care. Like, people do kind of, like, particularly people that know you, people do low-key kind of watch what you're doing to criticize. They do. Once you accept that, it's just like, people are going to criticize you, fine, whatever, I'm still trying. Like, you can't knock a trier. No one can knock a trier, because what's the point in life if you're not trying to do something, if you're not trying to create something that's inspirational, if you're not trying to speak to people? There's so much people out there that aren't living and just existing. So the biggest message of this video is just like, don't limit who you are. Be everything, create everything fully, create everything with your whole heart. The most important thing for you is to aspire to whatever your idea of greatness is. Whether your idea of greatness is being at the Super Bowl, which to me, it's an amazing thing, but the epitome of greatness is creating something that speaks to people, that inspires people. That to me is the goal, and the only way to reach that goal is to be fully open and brave about what you're creating and who you are and how you live life. So on that note, that's all my tips for remaining inspired and getting back your creative spark if you've lost it. I feel like on this YouTube, I'm not going to say I'll be back next week with another video, because I'm not doing that game no more. I'm not going to try and record every week so that I can get my views up, so that I can hit the algorithm. No, like I actually want to create things that I'm proud of. Keep an eye on my shorts. Please hit the notification bell so you know the next time that I post. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you took some tips. Please write some tips below on what you do to remain inspired. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Love me.